In India, minority rules. Globally, there are questions about roles of majority and minority. The threshold which makes a community minority is not even clearly defined. What is the maximum percentile of population to be classified as minority? 10% or 15%? What is the basis of distinction? In different countries, it goes different ways. In some countries, it is by religion. In some countries, it is by color. In USA, it is by color, because Christians are the major backbone of the whole country. In Europe, the same way, it is the color. In African countries, generally by religion, Christianity and Islam. In some countries of Africa, it is by tribes or by cultural divides. India was a Hindu Sanatan Dharma country for thousands of years. India survived onslaughts for centuries. Only after the invasion from Turks, Arabs, Mongols, Uzbeks, the situation changed. From 12th century onwards, the invaders never returned to their own land with booty collected by blood-curdling tortures and deaths of Hindus. They settled down in India to rule the peace-loving Hindus as slaves. India went down under the control of the Muslim invaders. So for the past 800 years, the first 600 years by the Muslims and the next 200 years by the Christians, the country was run by foreign invaders who were the minorities. The ruling class was the Muslims and Christians. The majority Hindus were subjected to torments, brutalities, persecutions and deaths. During those 800 years, it was the minority rules that prevailed in India. The minority actually controlled the whole country, and same way it is now. However, the burden of liberation of the country was upon the Hindus. At the freedom movement, participation by the Muslim population was far below their ratio of population. Yet, the Muslim leaders played a game of blood at the advent of independence. As rulers, they liked to live with Hindus not on equal vote basis. So, they claimed for a division of the country on the basis of religion. They were about 18% of the population. In free democratic India, they cannot rule India like before, so they pressurized Gandhi, Nehru and other Congress leaders to give in to the Muslim demands to divide India into three parts. The Great Calcutta Killing was kicked off by Bengal Chief Minister Surabardi on 16th August 1947, in which in about 1 week's time, about 10,000 Hindus were killed. After that gruesome incident, Hindu leaders, instead of strong measures to stop the carnage, bowed down to the Muslims and accepted their demand of cutting India into three parts. The two parts were given to Pakistan. After truncating of India, Muslims made two parts into Islamic Pakistan. Then India were left with 8% Muslims, 88% Hindus, and Hindus adopted secular model. The Congress leaders gave in to the minority demand and made a Himalayan blunder by creating separate law for the Muslims in secular India. That too, after yielding to cutting of India and sacrificing 25% of our land mass to create Islamic Pakistan. So even after the independence of India on 15th August 1947, there is a separate law for the Muslims for marriage and other civil matters. So Muslims can marry 4 wives at a time, and so population of Muslims grew rapidly, very fast. Now it is once again inching towards pre-partition 18% Muslim. Think of it. The population is again inching towards the pre-partition days, 18% Muslim. There were other facilities for the Muslim population like funding madrasas, starting of Islamic universities, Hajj centers, Hajj pilgrims, whereas in their own country, the Hindus pay high price for Amarnath pilgrimage for camps, for risking their lives to the terrorists.